Well, folks, welcome. This is Spoon TV. We are here at the Foreign Ministry, where Liberia's Foreign Minister will be meeting his counterpart, French Foreign Minister, and there's going to be bilateral agreement signed here. So be with us. Liberia and France are about to go through some bilateral agreement signing. So be a part of it as we keep bringing you live images. That's the French minister who sooner or later will be signing alongside his Liberian counterpart.
All right, we'll have remarks from our Minister of Foreign Affairs. Welcome remarks and statements.
Your Excellency, my dear brother and friend, the Foreign Minister of France and delegation, Your Excellency, the Ambassador of France to Liberia, the Honorable Henry B. Family, Deputy Minister for Foreign Affairs, Ambassador Jaja Kamara, Senior Ambassador at Large, and Ambassadors at Large, Ibrahim Yen and Vivian Ray, other officials of the ministry, our newly inducted leadership of the Ministry of Foreign Affairs Workers Association, members of the Folk Estate. We'd like to, on behalf of His Excellency Dr. George Weah, President of the Republic of Liberia, and the government and people of Liberia, welcome you to Liberia. This being your very first visit to our country. This visit we consider as historic, not only on our part, but on the part of both of us as we discussed at the airport and even on the vehicle en route to the office, giving the reality, as you indicated to me, that this is the very first time that an official of government at the level, at your level, from the French government is visiting Liberia. The ambassador indicated to me that in doing their research, dating back from 1977 when the ACA was initiated to present, there was no trace or indication of any foreign minister of France visiting Liberia, and that you are the most senior ever to visit Liberia. So we see that as very historic, and more besides, it speaks volume as to the level of relationship subsisting between the government and people of France and the Republic of Liberia. We are also very pleased, as you indicated at the airport, that you did keep your word as expressed to me in Accra and during our last interaction in Niger, that COVID tried to stop you from coming, but that you wouldn't stop, and we agreed that you will come. So I'm very much pleased to see you here. And we want to assure you, as I've indicated, that a reciprocal visit on my part awaits us, and we hope to see in France subsequently. We'd like to commend His Excellency President Macron, you and the government and people of France for the level of support giving the government and people of Liberia, and in particular, this administration of His Excellency President Weah. We will not attempt to recount or name the number of support or different projects being supported, because to do that will take up a lot of time. But we do recognize and cherish such support. We look forward, as we've indicated, we renew our commitment to further strengthening the ties between France and Liberia, especially during our both tenures as Ministers of Foreign Affairs of France and Liberia, respectively. At the global level, we will continue to close rank with France in continuing to promote the core values and tenets of democracy, the rule of law, human rights, gender equity or women empowerment related issues, as well as climate change or issues with respect to climate change and global warming, as we initially discussed at the airport upon your arrival. We also remain relentless in our commitment in working together with the government of France and the international community in general in the fight against terrorism. There is absolute zero tolerance to terrorism. And as it relates to Mali, in furtherance of our commitment to the tenets of democracy, we cherish and appreciate the decision taken by the authorities of heads of state and government of ECOWAS in relation to the situation in Mali, to be precise, the suspension of Mali from ECOWAS pending an indication that they are indeed on the roadmap as it relates to the return to civilian rule and in particular the election that is to be held in February 2022. And Liberia as a country remains supportive of the position that none of those involved currently with the leadership of the transition in Mali is to participate in the democratic process or the electoral process, or to stand for leadership in Mali in February 2022. So, Mr. Minister, we again want to welcome you and your delegation, and we will save our other comments for the signing of the historic agreement between the both of us subsequently. So welcome.
Merci, Monsieur le Ministre, chers amis. Je suis vraiment, avec ma délégation, très heureux et très fier d'être ici. Et c'est vrai que c'est un événement en partie historique parce qu'il n'y a pas eu de visite au niveau d'un ministre des Affaires étrangères français dans l'histoire du Liberia depuis on ne sait pas combien de temps.
French minister came to visit Liberia. Well, as far as we go back in history, you cannot find any trace of it.
Donc je rattrape un retard.
Therefore, I think that we are trying to catch up on what we have done.
Je ne sais pas si en une seule fois ça suffit pour rattraper un retard aussi.
One visit will be enough to catch up on all this on this long.
On n'arrive pas à savoir s'il y a eu un précédent.
I still don't know if there was any precedent of a visit of French foreign minister.
En tout cas, désormais, il y en aura eu un.
Well, this is the first. We already have one visit of the French minister to Liberia.
Ceci étant, mon secrétaire d'État, Jean-Baptiste Lemoyne, m'avait représenté l'installation du président Weah ici en 2018. C'était déjà le signe d'une volonté de prendre sa part des relations plus constructives.
Will and determination to be more determined in our relations for the future.
J'observe quand même une chose, c'est que c'est la France qui était le deuxième pays à reconnaître l'indépendance, la création du Liberia en 1849.
The second country to recognize the establishment and the freedom of Liberia in 1845. 49, second country.
Nous étions après les Anglais.
Well, of course, we came after the British.
Mais nous étions là.
But we were here in 1849.
Cette visite, Monsieur le Ministre, s'inscrit dans un processus qui a été initié lors de la venue à Paris du président Weah en février 2018. Le président Macron a souhaité qu'on ait désormais un site de collaboration qui soit renforcé, qui repose d'abord sur les valeurs communes que vous avez évoquées, à la fois le fonctionnement démocratique des institutions, ce que vous faites dans les différents rendez-vous électoraux qui ont eu lieu, y compris des rendez-vous récents. Et c'est tout à fait à mettre en valeur par rapport à d'autres pays qui le font moins. Et puis les valeurs fondées sur le droit, vous avez évoqué, le respect des personnes, l'égalité homme-femme, le droit qui domine les intérêts personnels. Tout ça crée des conditions positives pour une relation nouvelle. Et la personnalité de votre président a fait le reste. Ce qui me paraît important de remarquer, c'est que depuis cette date, il y a eu, je crois, 3 actes importants qui ont été posés. D'abord, l'Agence française pour le développement s'est installée ici.
French Development Agency, the AFD, opened a branch here.
Et vous savez que c'est l'outil de co-développement
French Development Agency is
de la France.
The tool of co-development for France.
Ils n'étaient pas présents, ils le sont.
The French Development Agency was not present in Liberia, and now it is present in Liberia.
Et deuxième élément, depuis cette date, les projets qui ont été montés par l'Agence française
the
de développement
projects that were put forward and put
ont
together
permis la
by the
mobilisation, l'engagement de 23 millions
AFD
d'euros
allowed for the mobilization of 23 million euros.
sur vos propres priorités.
On the basis of your own priorities.
Et en particulier sur la formation, la jeunesse et l'éducation. Qui sont les priorités du président Rouya pendant sa campagne électorale et les priorités qu'il veut imprimer au cours de ce mandat. Et puis le troisième point qui n'est pas secondaire, qui est lié aux deux premiers, c'est que dans la loi sur le développement que je suis en train de proposer en ce moment au Parlement français, le Liberia a été inscrit comme un des pays prioritaires pour notre collaboration dans l'avenir. Et c'est ce qui fait le cadre de notre relation. Et je sais que vous êtes aussi intéressé par l'enseignement du français, par la francophonie d'une manière générale. Et c'est quand même un événement que demain nous allons engager l'installation d'une nouvelle alliance. Une nouvelle alliance, la première alliance française dans Liberia. Je suis très, très honoré que le président Rouya ait décidé d'y assister lui-même. Par ailleurs, vous avez évoqué l'environnement régional. Je partage complètement votre sentiment. Nous l'avons évoqué tout à l'heure dans la voiture. Il faut se battre contre le terrorisme. Il faut se battre ensemble contre le terrorisme qui veut détruire les institutions de vos pays, confisquer et des territoires et des populations par la peur et la terreur, en imposant leurs propres lois. Donc il importe que la région au sein de la communauté économique des États de l'Afrique occidentale, la CEDEAO, puissent agir ensemble. Et sur la situation stricte du Mali, nous sommes en phase. Nous soutenons la position de la CEDEAO. Et vous en êtes membre, vous êtes artisan de cette position. À la fois sur la nécessité de tenir les engagements de la transition que ont pris les responsables maliens. C'est-à-dire les élections en février 2022, c'est-à-dire l'impossibilité pour les responsables actuels de la transition de se présenter aux élections, et c'est-à-dire le respect des engagements internationaux, en particulier dans le cadre de la lutte contre le terrorisme. J'ai pu comprendre que le Premier ministre désigné M. Kemayah allait constituer son gouvernement prochainement. Ce sera un test de la volonté inclusive qui se manifestera à ce moment-là. Et par ailleurs, j'ai pu comprendre aussi que la CEDEAO serait vigilante le contrôle des décisions de la CEDEAO puisse se poursuivre mensuellement par l'intermédiaire de la mission initiée par Jonathan.
Follow up on the implementation of the decisions under the supervision of Johnson Goodluck.
Donc nous sommes en phase.
Therefore, we are totally in agreement on this point.
Par ailleurs, et ce sera mon dernier point, nous sommes tout à fait attentifs à vos propres engagements dans le cadre des opérations de maintien de la paix des Nations Unies. Vous avez une armée modeste, mais une armée qui contribue au maintien de la paix. Et ça, je pense qu'il faut le saluer avec toute force.
we would like to welcome that very strongly.
Voilà, Monsieur le Ministre, ce que je voulais dire
Mr. Minister, this is what I wanted to
au moment de cette première rencontre.
In this first meeting between us,
Nous étions vus avec le président Weah à Accra pour l'installation du président Nana Akufo-Addo.
When President Nana Akufo-Addo took office,
Vous avez dit à ce moment, vous étiez présent,
you were there,
je viendrai
at
vous
that
rendre
moment
visite.
I told you I would come and visit you.
C'était en janvier,
It was in January.
je n'ai pas trop perdu de temps,
I didn't lose much time,
et je suis là.
so here I am.
Quickly, I'd just like to say that on the situation with our troops in Mali, His Excellency President Weah remains very committed to the troops being in Mali. Our President, yes, our President sees that as an obligation. When we had a situation in Liberia, it took the international community and our neighbors to come to restore peace here through only. So as a country, as a government, our president is very passionate about the truth in Mali, as he's also a peace ambassador, even before he became president. So he has assured that the truth will remain in Mali to see peace totally restored to Mali.
Thank you. We'll have exchange of gifts. Between the two ministers.
Exchange of gift between the two foreign ministers. That is the foreign minister of France and the foreign minister of Liberia. Now they are exchanging gifts. Ministers have presented a gift to each other.
You may have
Let's see one last.
When I have the signing of a letter of intent for urban development project in Greater Monrovia in the tune of 8 million euros with the World Bank.
Signing ceremony of a letter of intent towards development in the tune of 8 million euros.
And the World Bank.
And the World Bank.
Okay.
So now let's go. The two ministers move towards the boat, and the French minister is now signing. This is a letter of intent. Exchange of signing of a letter of intent towards development in Monrovia in the tune of 8 million United States dollars. Now they are changing. So the government of Liberia and the French government have signed a letter of intent towards development in the tune of 8 million United States dollars.
All right, next
Congratulations. Let's see.
agenda will be the signing
Let's see how well this is going to go.
We'll have a signing ceremony.
Another signing ceremony.
EcoBank trade finance guarantee of $10 million, 10 million euros, dollars. Okay, in the presence of the minister. So we'd like to invite them to come in.
EcoBank.
And it will be done at the head of the table.
So that is it, the meeting between the French foreign minister and the Liberian.
Okay. All right, so that the press can capture it. Okay. The signing will be done while they stand. That's what I told. They prefer to stand to make it.
After.
Avec le... On va se mettre derrière.
Mr. Minister, could you... Are you ready to be behind for the picture?
Yeah, so you want to do it now or after the signing? While the signing? Okay, that's fine.
During the signing.
So the two ministers are now going for a photo shoot. Like I said, the agreement that was just signed a couple of minutes ago is a letter of intent. Yes, a letter of intent that was signed between the two governments towards development in a tune of 8 million euros. So that means the government of France has an intent to, want to take a series of development in Liberia. So this is just the letter of intent. So let's see how this is going to materialize. Congratulations to the both governments. Congratulations to the both government for signing a letter of intent. This is EcoBank and AFD. They are signing financing agreement of $10 million.
Thank you.
That is it. The $10 million that was just signed, that is the agreement was just signed, is between EcoBank that was between EcoBank and AFD. That has to do with financing agreement, while earlier the government of Liberia and the government of France signed a letter of intent towards the development in Moldova in the tune of $10 That is 8 million euro. Let's check the protocol.
Just for two minutes.
Brief remarks. 10
10
million. That is about EcoBank financing agreement. Let's join them.
Honorable Minister of Foreign Affairs and members of the government of Liberia, the Foreign Minister of France, and members of his delegation. On behalf of EcoBank Liberia, we are very thankful that this has become a success story. We are thankful because this facility will help us improve our international trade finance. It will also help us support Liberian businesses. It will help us make sure that transactions that used to be very difficult to do will not now easily be done using the tobacco guarantee line. So on behalf of EcoBank Liberia, the Managing Director, George Spencer, is unable to be here. He would have loved to really attend. We want to say thank you to Tobacco and AFD for this support, and you can rest assured that we're going to use this to benefit the people of Liberia and the economy as a whole. Thank you very much.
EcoBank representative. So let's wait Tobacco and AFD. That is AFD representative who will be taking the stage. 10 million agreement.
First of all, I'd like to thank the Ministry of Foreign Affairs for hosting us. As you may know, financing and supporting SMEs has become a hot topic in the international development community. The reason is that SMEs create about 60% jobs in Africa in the formal sector. Unfortunately, SMEs growth is impeded by some problems: lack of capital, problems with clients. It is therefore important for international development community to step in and support SMEs. This is why France, through AFD Group, including Propa, launched the Choose Africa Initiative Program in 2018 to support SMEs, micro-enterprises, and startups. 1 billion euros will be dedicated to SMEs weakened by the COVID-19 pandemic. And this signature we have today is clearly in line with the Choose Africa initiative. Thank you.
Quickly, and then we go. We are exceedingly glad this evening that your visit has culminated into the signing of 2 agreements. One, which is a bilateral, amounting to 8 million euros, which has to do with urban development, of which the cities of Paisley and Monrovia will benefit, that will enhance the rehabilitation and refurbishing of our infrastructure and other within Monrovia. The second has to do with the $10 million through your support also, but the Tobacco EcoBank. And this is particularly important because when His Excellency President Weah assumed office, in his inaugural address, he indicated that Liberians would not be spectators as it relates to the economy. The private sector is the engine of growth. And so this 10 million through AFD that has been provided to EcoBank will go a long way in ensuring that the statement, the commitment, the vision of His Excellency President Weah as it relates to empowerment of Liberian-owned businesses is manifested. And we are pleased that EcoBank has done it. We want to encourage EcoBank to ensure that, as usual, the money will be used for the intended purpose, and that this guarantee line will help with the Liberian-owned businesses, and in particular, ensuring that our Liberian private sector is strengthened, which is in line with government-owned PROPO agenda for prosperity and development. Thank you.
Just like to announce that the ceremony is over. The two ministers will proceed to the holding room, whilst all of us descend and get in our cars, and then they will come and join the convoy. Oh, okay, photograph. The ministers will stand right over there.
So, folks, that is it. And this is how we love to end this broadcast. Thank you so much for being a part. James Goode Flomo. Till we meet again.